Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to join the launch of the third edition of African Insights. Let me start with congratulations to the Afrobarometer on this third edition of the report, and the national partners, analysts and field teams whose work across 38 countries made this all possible. Decisions taken in the coming years by African governments and their partners will shape this continent for generations to come. And that is why this report is so timely, and the message running through its findings is clear. Africans expect fairer terms and a stronger say in global rules. Take trade. 62% support making trade easier, yet only 13% have heard of the African Continental Free Trade Area. A project this important needs to be known. The AfCFTA can create work and strengthen Africa's economic power. It is central to Agenda 2063 and to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, and people need to understand what it means for their lives. The report also delivers a stark warning on migration. 45% of Africans have considered leaving their country, which is a sharp rise over the past decade. The desire is strongest among the young and the educated, and half cite the search for work as the cause. But not all movement begins with a choice. Conflict, persecution, and climate shocks are forcing millions of people from their homes, and this report brings that distinction into sharp relief. Almost 1 in 5 Africans say they were forced to migrate due to changing weather conditions, a figure that reaches more than 1 in 3 in Liberia, Guinea-Bissau, and Angola. The vast majority say developed countries have a duty to help poorer nations adapt to the climate crisis. Climate responsibility carries a financial obligation, and climate finance must meet it at scale and with a sense of urgency. For those of us in multilateral institutions, this report is also a reminder of the aspirations for Africa's place in the world. Over 70% want their countries to have a greater influence in institutions such as the United Nations. Their voice strengthens a long-standing call to correct Africa's exclusion from permanent membership of the Security Council. That same principle must reach international financial institutions, where Africa still has too little to say in decisions with enormous consequences for the continent. The Africa Development Bank's initiative to advance a new African financial architecture is an important part of this effort to mobilize resources and finance Africa's priorities on fairer terms. I encourage governments, the African Union, and partners to use all of these findings to inform their actions in several ways. First, more efforts need to be made to raise awareness for the potential of free trade through AfCFTA. Second, transforming education and training for a new technological era while creating jobs is vital to enhance the well-being of younger generations and avoid the brain drain. And third, advocacy on climate action needs to be enhanced, and the AU can play a crucial role in advancing a unified African position. Fourth, we need partnerships, genuine partnerships that work for Africa, shaped by African priorities and with African institutions in the lead. And throughout these efforts, Agenda 2063 must remain our compass as we work to strengthen Africa's representation and decision-making power on the global stage. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Afrobarometer has told us what people are saying. One conclusion stands out. Public expectations are moving faster than policy. Our opportunity now is to close that gap, to show that the voices of Africans, young voices, have to be heard. Thank you.